I just want to know how it makes sense for you to wake up every single morning, every single day. You gotta live your life. You got to live the life that you live in, the one that you woke up breathing, and the body that you see in the mirror every single day, the voice that you hear in your own head. And you let somebody else say, you ain't worth that. Because you didn't do this for me, you ain't worth it.
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is D. Aaron Mack, and we're back once again.
And the latest that we have ever done the Dirty Trunk Podcast in the whole 104 episodes. I think this is the very latest that we've ever actually recorded the Dirty Trunk Podcast. So, we back in our respective places.
Yes.
Hope everything is good on your end.
What happened? What you mean?
We good. Like it's 10 o'clock, bro. Like 10 o'clock p.m. So, everything straight?
Not really, because we got to go back down to the place we were. So apparently, I think they're having the repast Friday, or it might be just Saturday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh, so you got to go back up to up north.
Yeah.
Dang.
And she wants to leave 3 or 3:30, and I was like, oh, so let me call my man Aaron. Can we do this tonight?
I'll be like, yo, can we zoom the repass? Like, is that a thing? Can somebody hold the phone up? I'll send you a tripod in the mail. Just like, I'm not about to drive for that, bro. I'm just being real. I ain't about to drive for that. But yeah, man, glad y'all made it back safe. Hope y'all make it up safe, make it back safe again. It wasn't the same at the vanilla without you all week, man. No, I'm lying. It was the same old bullshit. I'm lying.
Come on. Not even a little difference? Nah.
No, bro, I ain't even gonna go there.
Not.
I ain't even gonna go there. I don't even want to talk about it, bro. I ain't even about to go there.
Come on. That is crazy. So I kind of got a boss of pause. Right?
No, I got the. All right, look.
Oh, you got one?
I had one. I got one today, bro. I got one today. Nah, look. I'm gonna let you hit that joint first. We're gonna have a double feature boss of pause today because I got you. I got you with one today, bro. Because I really want to know.
I'm gonna do the boss of pause first because I'm a little biased on this one, right? So, like, is it a boss move or a false move to kind of like put your blinders on, right, and then just have like one goal set in mind and just go for it, right? So, story time, right? So the other day I'm getting, the little one in, babe breakfast or whatever. Went to the local Hardee's. I'm driving. It was like traffic won't backed up too much, but it was like, just a little bit of cars just stopped, no real concern. So I'm like, what's going on? Or whatever.
Traffic should never be backed up at your local joint. Like it ain't even enough cars out there joint to back the traffic up, bro.
So, I get close to the scene of what's going on, right? So it's some dude. He looks like he's a little bit, stockier than me, right? Apparently he's out there. I didn't see a vehicle, so he didn't stop. So he must have been walking. apparently there's a cop out there, white cop. He skinny, scrawny dude. He ain't look like he didn't weigh more than like $150 or something. And then as the cars are going, they're passing these two. There's a van on the other side of the road. She pulls up. She's fussing at the stockier dude, right? So he's just like, out of nowhere, bump the cop, bump everything around him. He's in the middle of the road, just like he got to prove his point to this female. He got to, put her in her place or whatever. And like, I go get the breakfast. I'm coming back. This won't even like a full 10 minutes. The whole road is like littered with cops. Like they had to, put the signs up. They needed somebody out there directing traffic, and this dude is still going off, like pushed up against the car. And he's just like, I gotta get my point across. And I'm just like, yo,
is it that deep though?
That's what, right?
Is it that like, deep?
How big of an ego do you have to just like, nothing else matters. I just need to get my point across.
We definitely should have started with my joint first, because your joint going. You trying to go into the episode already. We definitely should have started with mine first. You should have let me know about that one beforehand. Yeah. I'm more curious to know what my man had going on that he felt like he had to buck bad like that, like with no vehicle out there and a traffic jam. Right. Like, I'm more curious about that. Like, why were you so upset on a Wednesday evening, my dude? Like, what's up with you, bro? Like,
and it's like, I know him somewhat. I know one of his siblings more than I know him, but they kind of hot-headed, but still, like, they're, something like that would kind of seem out of their character. So I'm kind of like, all right, like what got you there? Like, right. You don't seem to be, trying to throw your life away. That situation could have been, totally worse. Because like I said, the cop couldn't hold him back, man. He a scrawny dude. He a little bit smaller than me in the, muscle department. So I was like, yo, he probably called all the people because he couldn't get control of the situation. Like,
should have gave my man a Snicker. He won't act like himself. That seemed like more of a help me understand type situation. Because I don't get it, bro. Like I'm like, I got a lot of questions right now. Like how traffic get backed up. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. How he ain't had no vehicle. Who was he yelling at? Like, there's a lot of questions going on there. But nah, false move, man. False move. Like, what? Why you standing in the street yelling in broad daylight, fam? Like in public. What are you doing, dog? And was it a stranger that he was yelling at?
He probably knew the broad, so I don't think it was like just a random stranger.
Was it baby mama? Like, was it one of the ex flings or something? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of questions in that joint, though.
A lot of variables.
A lot of questions, bro. We're gonna leave that one alone. And last week, man, it was a lot going on, man. We we had the little convention joint that we went to on Saturday, and was Saturday and Sunday, and yeah, man, we had fun though, but like it's like all right, so you put yourself in these situations, bruh, and you meet a lot of cool people, and we met this one girl who was there, and I mean, like, ride or die, just like selling her man's art, and like dude got fingers. Like I'm talking like he kind of like, I'm just gonna put it this way, like he like the way he draw, like you couldn't tell the difference between the cartoon and his drawing, bro. Like he drew a Danny Phantom joint, like a zombie Danny Phantom joint that like was out of this world, bro. And I'm like, yo, my man got talent, and he doing it on Procreate, bro. He doing it on the iPad, bro. I'm like, hold up,
Huh.
man. What is happening here? But yeah, shout out to Rebecca, man. She out like she was at the joint
Mm.
selling his gear or whatever. They got shirts and journals that's handmade and all that other stuff like that, man. We sat next to her at the joint for the weekend, and she we we out here sharing stories. It's like we like getting into the entrepreneur spirit or whatnot, and man, we she told us this one story, man, and I was just like, yo, how in the hell? She was at a convention, right?
Mm.
And like a prior joint, and she was next to this lady that was selling some kind of gear. Like she had like teddy bears and all this other stuff. She had like trinkets and all this other shit like that. So she was like conversating with the woman, and I don't know the full story, but bruh, she bought the teddy bear from the broad, and the broad told her it was $100. She looked at the receipt for it, and she got charged 105. She's like, okay. She didn't think nothing of it. She said she got home said the woman, because she ain't her mask on, the woman charged her a plague rat fee.
What? Is that
Bruh,
even what? Yo, ain't that wow, man.
bruh. Talk about Boston Falls.
I would have been oh fault. I mean, ooh, because it was already $100. You ain't had to hit it. Oh man.
The
Uh
curveball, the curveball though. That's the thing that had me tripping, bro.
curve
How you
that is that's salt on the wound. That ain't no
Boy,
curve.
that's the most
Ooh.
gangster. It's the most gangster shit that I ever heard of, bro. First of all, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it like that. It's the most gangster shit I've heard of. Like when I heard it, I was like, "Yo, you got to show me this." And she showed us. It's like it's literally a $5 plague rat fee. Like I was like, "Hold the fuck up!" Like
Wow.
you
Wow.
really you really typed that shit in the square like that, like plague rat fee. Like yo, you just had it loaded up, ready to go. Like
Facts.
yo, it fucking trifling, bro. But
She was ready. She
fucking
was
trifling, man. How you still have a
oh,
conversation with somebody and did do that to him, bro? I don't even know. I don't even
the,
know, bro. That
the
was
egos. That's ego right there. That's what I'm
that
talking about.
right. Yeah. Absolutely. So
She's like, my time, my space is worth something. And you go,
you just gonna come up in here with all your jerks. But anyway,
man, that's crazy.
I
But yeah,
want to believe that you had something that brought you into that zone where you wanted to talk about the ego thing, man. And
mm,
those are two big examples of big egos blocking somebody's blocking a prosperity. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Because I can't imagine this lady continuing to do that and
mm.
somebody don't catch her with the hands outside of convention, bro. Like I just can't imagine, like, you doing that at like a place full of people, and like, bro, can you? All right, so imagine this though. So you walked around the convention before,
Right.
and I hate to go back to this. I thought we were about to start the conversation, but I'm really curious. Like, yo, like imagine you walking around the convention, you bought something from somebody, and somebody like insulted you in the notes of your receipt. You had a receipt sent to your email and somebody insulted you. You ignored it and you was like, yo,
Right.
I ain't think nothing of it. Somebody else see you with the same gear from the same spot and they're like, yo, hey, did you see this? Let me see your receipt. And both of y'all just like connecting on the fact that y'all just got dissed by somebody at one of their exhibition table. Like I can't imagine you ain't gonna get dropped out in the parking lot, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like I really can't. I can't see it, dog. I can't see it, man.
With that, it's like it goes back to how I was trying to like go into the conversation of like ego. Like people do things like that, and sometimes the situation is even, more extreme than that, uh and they don't think about the consequences at all. Like, they don't think about that their action is going to have a very equal reaction, like out the blue. It might happen, right away, and it might happen, kind of like further down the line, but still it's gonna happen. Like, once you put that seed out there, or that notion out there,
Yeah.
it's gonna tumble, and it's gonna come right back to you.
I'm talking like a rock slide. Bruh, ain't it dope, man? And like I was talking to Alyssa today about it too. Like,
Mhm.
bro, it seemed like the people from the smallest places got the biggest egos.
Ooh.
Why is that? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out, bro. We walking through
Mhm.
Walmart earlier, bro. And I lie to you not, dog. Like, two-way traffic. First of all, I don't know why people be up in Walmart acting like they British, dog. Why you walking on the left hand side? Why? What are you doing, bro? What are you trying to prove, bro? Like, ain't nobody learn how to drive and drive on the right hand side and on the left hand side of Virginia, bro. That ain't a thing, bro. So why you walking on the? Come on, man. Like, and I know it ain't that deep to some people, man, but like so we sent up in Walmart, man. I'm walking through. We in a two-way lane, bro. I'm talking the main aisle. And
Right.
the dude just slows down, leaning on his cart, just slows down and just stops in the middle of the main aisle. I'm talking people on the other side, like walking past him, like
Mhm.
going, like coming towards us and going past us. And this dude just stopped, like right there in the main aisle. Like, I'm like, yo, what in the hell? And and I don't know what it was, bro, but it pissed me off so much. I mean, like it got under my skin, bro, because he looked back and he didn't move. And it made me think. And I asked Alyssa, I'm like, yo, why is it that poor people do that?
Oh, because they, because all right, for like the small town thing, like, that's all they know. Yeah, that's all they know. That's all they know. Like, their small town, that little
Mm,
bubble they're in.
nah, I'm
Uh,
not even like when I say small places, Mark.
mm,
I hate to cut you off, bro, but I don't mean like small places like a small town. Like
mm,
I ain't about to sit up here and say that somebody from Lawrence, like just because you from Lawrenceville, mean that you just about to disrespect everybody's personal space. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is because like, and I had to be careful, right? Because I used
mm,
to just be like, I used to just say that it was a black thing. And I had to be careful because it's not just a black thing. Like, you
right.
see people of all races act the exact same, but it's because they from a small place, meaning a poor background, a poor man's mentality. They ain't necessarily expanded out into the world. That's what I mean by small places.
Okay, okay. Well, just like you said, they haven't expanded out of themselves. Like, all they know is, themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's actually not really themselves. It's just like they're because ego plays a big part in this. I just listened to something talking about like the four principles of like your ego. Usually it's that person trying to either protect their pride, they feel entitled to um like any and everything. And like, if someone comes and tries to like threaten that, they get
Mm,
defensive.
right.
And then it goes into, all right, they don't want to feel shameful, so they're gonna do any and everything to try to feel like the
Keep up
bigger
the
man,
facade.
or yeah. And then it goes
Kind of like
into yeah, yeah.
probably shouldn't have said
uh,
that shit out loud. Some people go probably go back and tell us bitch ass. I mean, I'm sorry.
and then it comes down to they're trying to eliminate that shame. Like, they know the situation they're in. They're not blind to it. They know that they're poor. So it's like they're trying to do any and everything to make other people around them uh forget that narrative of them being poor. They're trying to convince everybody that they're not that, that's what they are. You can't get over that until,
bro, like for real, how does that work though, Mark?
Man,
like you will try to force me to forget something about you that's really critical. And
right.
and mind you, bro, when you an asshole to me, I'm gonna find reasons to not like you. Including the shit that you insecure about. Like, bro, like how does that work, bro? Like for real, you
It's like they put so much time and effort into like
what?
working on everyone else's thoughts on them instead of working on their thoughts on themselves.
All right, you just struck a nerve there. You just struck a nerve there. So you mean to tell me it's people out here who actually care more about other people's perception of them as a person than their actual situation?
Yes.
Bruh, come on, bruh. Like, and you see it happen so much, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I just listened to it. And that's the main focus of like big egos. When you think of egos, that's kind of what you think of, and it's like so deep that like monks, they literally like just sit there and like meditate, and like all those thoughts that they have about like their egos of like they should be doing something else, they should be successful already and all this other stuff. Monks, they sit there and they kind of like internalize that, and then like their egos just keep building until it collapses, and then they feel like this sense of relief or something. That's what they go through. I don't know like the like business aspect of that. Like how can you go through like that revelation in like a business setting? If there is one.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, bro. It definitely is. Like I'm gonna tell you, and like it just recently happened to me, bro. You watched it happen. Like with me being a self-published author, bro. Like there's a sense of shame in that. Like I'm just being real. It's a sense of shame in America being a self-published author. Like most people don't necessarily talk about it, but like I got people who came to my table at some of these conventions and they ask like, "Are you self-published?" I tell them, "Yeah." All of a sudden, they ain't interested no more. Like I'm just being real, bro. But like what happened to me coming into that, like there was a point where that would have happened. Like if that happened first, Mark, I don't know if I would have just been willing to just keep going, bro. Like I'm gonna be real. Like if the very first person came to my table and asked me that and just walked away like that one woman did at GalaxyCon, bro, I don't know if I would be in it the way I am not right now, bro. Like just real talk. Like it would have been something in me that was just like, oh man. Like my ego would have been hurt.
Yeah.
My ego would have been hurt. Like I would have just been like, oh man, I don't know if this is the right move, bro. I don't know, man. But it was like and on the opposite scope, bro, somebody bought the book in front of me. Like as I was explaining the book to them, they was like, yo, I ain't even about to wait for you to get a copy, bro. I'm gonna buy the book. And like the situation, like the very first situation, when I seen the book for the first time, Mark, then when I seen the book for the first time, it wasn't even in my hands, bro. It was in yours. Like just being real, Mark. Like these are situations that I kind of looked at and was like, man, that's what it is right there, bro. Like somebody buying the book from me, and they come back and say, bro, I can't wait for book 2, bro. Somebody literally like 3 days after. 3 days after 3 days after I published the book, somebody was like, I can't wait till book 2. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like you ain't even give it a week yet. You ain't got a chance to get a review in yet. Like, come on, bro. Somebody paid $50 for the book. I'm like, bro, what? But look, I'm not saying any of that to brag. What I'm saying is that all that kind of set me up to, and it's exactly what Mark just said. The monks sat in the temple. The monks sat in the temple and they boosted their own ego. And then at some point, they had to deflate. Mm. So what was my deflation moment? When I'm sitting in front of a shop and somebody looks at me and says, "Oh, well, he doesn't have anything here, so let's walk away." Yeah, bro, like for real, like you ain't got nothing for me right now. I'm gone. Here's my website. No, that's all right. Take a free pen and bookmark. No, that's all right. You ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. Let's go. Okay. All right. Like for real. Like, yo, that was my eye-opening moment. My eye-opener moment was somebody coming back to me and like, yo, your book ain't all that, man. I don't know what all the hype is about. Like for real. Like that was my eye-opener moment. That was the pen. It popped my bubble. It popped my bubble. And what most people, here's what most people do, right? They got this ego thing. Going. It's so high. Mark said, like, there's a cycle to it. You get to a point where you're trying to get other people to believe the hype. And you ain't letting yourself come back down. So you up here with the little pin needle trying to keep this little hole open at the top of your balloon so the air continues to let out. So you ain't never got to pop and come back down. Bro, y'all got to stop it. You got to stop it.
That. Oh. Yep. Because it's like, what was that? It's like we said with the lady that had the sneak this in the receipt, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like at some point you got to come back down to reality. Mm-hmm. Like she wrong for that. Mm-hmm. Like the people that weren't married, that wasn't wearing their mask, they could have already had the vaccine shots. I understand that, that there's a new variant, so you got to mask back up.
Hold on one second. Hey, Lee. I hate to break away from the pod to ask this, but Rebecca is vaccinated, right? Oh, okay. She said she don't know. I thought I could have sworn the girl said she was vaccinated, but it ain't that deep. Go ahead.
Exactly. Just like you said, it wasn't that deep. Like the whole convention itself, like everybody being there, everybody's basically, if you want to slick this and be, technical, everybody was putting themselves at risk. Like she wasn't the only one. Like if that was the case, everybody that was there should have been charging, an extra fee for what was it?
Yeah, just confirmed she is vaccinated.
My point exactly. So you made somebody feel lesser than themselves to keep your high quota, your high pedestal, whatever, to stay on your high horse. That is.
But Mark, like for real, check this out though. Here's how crazy it is. Mm-hmm. If you were in a position that you weren't making any sales and you weren't doing as good as you think you're doing, you wouldn't even have put yourself in a situation to put that bullshit on somebody's receipt in the first place, bro. Bruh, for real. Like, yo, like I said, if I didn't come in with the good experiences first, I wouldn't have been able to handle that lady asking me like, yo, you self-published? All right, cool. Peace. Like, I wouldn't have been able to handle that. So you'd have sat up here and made a few sales. You done got yourself in a good position. You were desperate at first. You were desperate. You were scrambling, trying to make every end meet. You were burning the wick at both ends. Mm-hmm. At both ends. And then all of a sudden you start making sales and then you call it, you putting sneak disses on somebody's stuff. Bro, how dare you? How dare you be so arrogant in what you do? Bro, do you know that somebody can come in and just wipe your whole thing out? Mark said whatever goes up must come down. That every action
reaction
has a equal and opposite reaction, bro. That same and you probably felt real good about that. You probably felt real good. You was like, I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna show her ass. Watch this. Like you probably felt real good, but at some point you're gonna have to pay up. You're gonna have to pay the taxes on that action. You're gonna have to. And so what good is it? And man, bro, I wish we had saved this one, but you know, Alex said he wanted to talk about some. He wanted to come back on the podcast and talk about something. And one day we're gonna have to, bro. But you know, when you build, it doesn't make a difference when you build with this hand and knock it down with this one, bro. It don't make a difference. You still back at zero. You still at zero, bro.
Yeah, because like you got to be mindful, because like you don't know everything. People don't know everything. So like you being that dick, that asshole to those people, like you said, it can come right back, sweep the rug right up under you, and wipe your stuff. Like I'm pretty sure if she wanted to get real technical, Rebecca could probably sue, because she got, like you said, she got her shots. She's vaccinated. I'm pretty sure she can go somewhere and be like, hey, I was, mischarged because, I got my shots. Here's the card, like you 21 and you going to buy some, alcohol. Here it is. Put it right there on the desk.
But it's crazy, man. And like, and y'all just and y'all think is simple. Like most people looking at it like it's simple, bro. It's really deep. Like if you listening to this and you wondering if you got an ego problem, you probably do. Like if you just walking around acting like, yo, ain't nothing I ever did was wrong. I ain't never said nothing wrong. Everything that I do is just going to be the end all be all. Like, yo, you got a problem. You got a problem. Like if you walk around making other people feel like they beneath you just for the sake of, you trying to I don't know what you're trying to do. It don't even matter what you're trying to do.
Keep up a facade.
And for real, most people most people do it so much and so often that it's a facade to them, and they don't even know it's a facade, Mark.
They could probably pass a polygraph because they believe it so much.
They believe it so much, and the brain is the dumbest muscle. You can tell it anything, and it's gonna believe it, bro. I heard Carl say that shit on SOS, man, and I had to take that joint, but like. It's true, bro. Like most people, they believe that shit. Like most people, I had to have a conversation with somebody who was like, "Yo, I ain't doing this work because I ain't making enough money." Bro, like for real, like he tells the manager, like if y'all pay me more, like no, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, you won't. And I was like, yo, I had to explain to my man, like, yo, before you got the raise you got now, you still won't doing it. So what difference do it make? With like you lying to you even lying to yourself. You got an ego. You thinking you so valuable. You thinking you that valuable that if somebody paid you a little bit more at your vanilla, that you would do more. But in reality, if you were that valuable, you wouldn't even be there in the first place. If you knew you were that valuable, you wouldn't be there. So why are you even having that conversation with anybody?
For real. They want to complain, they should start you off with the wage they had, at very first. Big old $11.25.
Oh man. Man.
Let's kind of step into the not backwards, but like the negative ego. I would say ego is kind of always negative, but there's another side to it. And it kind of falls into the category of like my characteristic and Lee's characteristic. Um,
Egoless.
no, because it turns out that's the ego in itself, trying to please others
Oh, you're right. You're right.
to, I guess get a sense of like self-worth, or like just to boost your own confidence. You're trying to please somebody else or do things for somebody else to like fake out yourself that you're doing something good or something like that. And
I,
instead of focusing on yourself, you're focusing on somebody else, and that gives you a sense of a self-worth.
mm, I ain't never, I ain't never get it, bruh. But I swear to God, like I was just like, I was watching her one day, man,
Mhm.
and she bent over backwards to do something for somebody, and I'm just like, yo, why are you doing that? Why? Like, what is the purpose, bro? Like, and like I was just like getting generic answers, and like
Mhm.
you him up. You know when you doing something that don't make no sense, and you give those generic answers. Okay, they family. This is
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
like I gotta do it. Like by whose logic do you have to do that? Like
Mm.
for real, like I ain't never in my life seen a situation where somebody just up and died because they didn't give their parent their last dollar. Like I ain't never in my life seen that shit. And some people believe that that's a thing. Like
Mhm.
I sit back and I watch, and we talked about it last week, where the girl on Reddit said the same thing. Like she gave her mom what she wanted. Like her
Mm.
mom was like, "Yo, fuck your dying wish. I'm gonna take this.
Basically.
Fuck your dying wish. I'm gonna take what I want, and you gonna like it." And the girl did it, and she justified it. And the only justification she could give was, "That's my mom. She was there. She did do this." No, lady, you had that child. That's what you're supposed to do anyway.
Mhm.
So why is it that the child goes around feeling like I'm beneath this person because this is what you did for me, bruh? I don't care how much somebody do. I don't care how much they do for you. I don't care how much they do for you. You never had to owe your life to another person. There is no human being on this planet that you owe your life to. And I don't know where Mark trying to go with this with the whole the negative ego thing, but like for real, I just want to know how it makes sense for you to wake up every single morning, every single day. You got to live your life.
Mhm.
You got to live the life that you live in, the one that you woke up breathing, and the body that you see in the mirror every single day, the voice that you hear in your own head. And you let somebody else say, you ain't worth that.
Oh. Oh.
Because you
Uh.
didn't do this for me, you ain't worth it. Like somebody gonna have to help me understand that one.
So I for it to be that extreme and that like twisted, I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere, like we said in the last one, like she was conditioned that way.
Mm.
Um, luckily, I wasn't conditioned that harshly to think that, but like I do have a sense of like, you know, I want to pay back my parents, just a little bit of like, what they gave me, and then also like I want to be on like a equal standing with them. Like my mom recently, she was like, she gave me an easy pass on something I was supposed to do, and I was like, nah, don't do that. Like, we both adults now. Like, give me the full punishment. Like give it to me. I want that. Like I want to be, you know, adults. I want us to see each other as like adults. And I know mothers will always see you as, they baby, they child. They gotta take care of you and whatnot. But uh like a sense of, I guess it would be pride. Like, um you don't want to come off as, you don't want to still be seen as that child. It kind of does something to your ego, um that like you ain't grown. And I know like people shouldn't think that way. I know I shouldn't think that way. Cause look at the list of accomplishments I do have. You know, in this house paying rent, you know, got a podcast, partnering with you with an LLC, got associate's degree, apparently starting January. I might up that to a bachelor's. Um, and many more things to come. Like it's like I don't understand how, well, I kind of do. Going through that process or going through like life, you kind of just forget or put your compliment, your achievements, you know, to the side, like
All right.
they're little small trophies or something.
I got a question. All
What's
right.
up?
And this question is specifically for you, Mark.
Mm,
Like, how is it that with all that going on,
mm-hmm.
like I got to know, inquiring minds want to know. I told you this was gonna be a night of questions.
What's
How
up?
is it that with all that going on, bro, you still looked at me and was like, look, you gotta appreciate the small wins. But yet, with all that going on, you still just like blew past all that and was just like, that's not even relevant. Because you do got people out here who got accomplishments on top of accomplishments, who
Mm-hmm.
stacking plaques on top of plaques, trophies on top of trophies, but they just sitting in the box somewhere, just collecting dust, and they ain't put it out at not one bit. And they'll look at you and tell you that, oh, I'm not that deep. I ain't this, I ain't that. And like for real, like I gotta understand that, bro. Like you gotta help me understand, dog.
It's a extreme humbling process, is what I'm gonna say. It's when you humble yourself a little bit too much. So I really hate the saying because it came from a place that, you know, I won't too comfortable in or too happy in. This dude that was kind of like somewhat in a leadership role over top of me that was supposed to, you know, teach me the ins and outs of like work or whatever. He was like, the only reason, you know, I come in and I try to work with you and teach you things is because you're smart and you work hard, but you're dumb at the same time.
Mm,
He through like some type of psychology in it, he was like, you're smart because you know you're dumb and you know you don't know a lot. And you're also dumb because you know you're smart. You also know that you know a lot. And it's like trying to find that balance between the two. Uh I guess somewhere I believe more of one thing than the other. Like I for me personally, it's the dumb part. I know there's a lot of stuff that I need to learn. So I'm like, all right, the stuff I do know, it I still got a lot more to learn. So I gotta it's kind of like this infinite amount of learning to this small stack of what I do
mm,
know, basically.
mm. All right, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. ET talked about that before, where he
Mhm.
talked about PhD versus GED. Now,
Ooh.
and between him and one of my old mentors from when I
Mhm.
was in Total Life Changers, bro, both of them got GEDs. Both of them
Wow.
rich as fuck. Like I'm just gonna be just putting it real, just putting
Okay.
it like as real gets, bro. ET
Mhm.
was rich before he got his PhD. Like just putting it out there. Like his company was $1 million company before he got a GED, bro. Before he got a PhD,
Wow.
and and they both. I've heard both of them on numerous occasions say that you think you better than me because you got a PhD and I got a GED. But what you don't understand is your PhD don't make you as hungry to succeed
Mm.
as you think it does. Your PhD don't mean that you hungry or that you mean that you ready to succeed. Your PhD just mean that you went to school a little bit longer.
All right.
Now, one thing that you and my lovely matriarch have in common. Lee, I'm sorry. I apologize. She probably ain't even up right now, but she probably sleep. But one thing y'all have in common is that both of y'all are too smart for y'all own good. And there's a lot of people out there who just like too smart for their own good. And the thing that makes it so crazy is that y'all know y'all smart, yet y'all too smart to move on your intuition. And y'all overthink shit.
Yeah.
Like we talk about self-assessing all the time, right? On this podcast, I'm pretty sure we've talked about self-assessing more than 100 times. Like we this is episode 104. We probably doubled the amount that we talked about self-assessing, like, or even just said self-assessing alone, bro. But
Thanks.
some of y'all out here over-assessing. Y'all overanalyzing yourself, man. Like, how much sense does it make to want to do something, but you criticize yourself so much that you can't even move forward because you done knocked yourself back down a few pegs. You done said in one breath, I can do it. No, I can't. I can do it. No, I can't. Who the fuck do you think you are? Sit back down. Yes, you can do it. No, you can't. Like, how much sense does it make to do that to yourself? How much sense does it make to constantly find and
Yep.
it doesn't make sense to constantly find reasons as to why you can't do something when you know you can. That's all I'm saying, bro. And there's a lot of people who do that. There's a lot of people who when they about to do something, they speak it into they speak the negative thought into existence and don't even think about the positive one. Like it's not even in your brain, it's not even in your mindset. And like when you a person that you want to give everybody everything that they want, you don't necessarily think about the ways that you can that you can do it, bro. I'm ruthless. I'm absolute ruthless. Mark can tell you when it comes to completing a goal. Anybody who know me can tell you when it comes to completing a goal, I don't care what you think about my goal. I don't give a fuck. I had everybody on the Dirty Trump podcast sweating and more than one occasion when I came out and said something like, "Hey, this is what we gonna do." They all looked at me like, "Motherfucker, you by yourself." they all looked at me like, "Damn, bro, no, we not doing that." Like, yeah, like for real. I don't care how you feel about my goal, but when it comes to getting it done, I'm going to think about what I need to do first. You can come on the back burner. I figure it out on that. I figure it out when I come back around to you. But I'm not about to sacrifice my goal when it comes to what I want to do because that's not in me. I mean, granted, I've been there before. I know what it feels like, so I can speak from experience. But here's the thing. I wanted my success more than I wanted to judge myself. It didn't matter to me that I couldn't do it. It didn't matter to me that I wasn't capable. It didn't matter to me that I wasn't smart enough to know how to do it. I'm just gonna go do it. But some of y'all ego so high in what Mark said, the negative, that whenever you come to a point where it's like, all right, I don't know how to do this. Instead of you going out to learn it, you judge yourself on the fact that you don't know it, and then all of a sudden you just back at square one and you never move on it. It don't make sense. So you got to get yourself out that headspace of saying, yo, I can't do that. And say, yo, I can't do that. Give me a minute. I got you. Bro, I ain't never in my life came across a situation that YouTube don't know how to get me to handle. I'm just being real, Mark. Bro, you got YouTube out here. You got Skillshare out there, bro. Like, for real. When you were a toddler, you didn't know you can finish school. You didn't know you can finish 12th grade. I mean, and granted, as a toddler, you couldn't finish 12th grade. Whoop-de-damn do. But I ain't never seen a toddler in kindergarten like, oh my god, I can't finish the SOL test. I'm stupid, bro. It just don't logically make sense. So I need those people. If you agree with this, if you feel like that's your lane, and you feel like every time you come up to a challenge that you back down from the challenge because it's something that you don't know, I'm gonna need you to get to this space where you say it's okay that I don't know it, but this is what I need to do, so I'm going to do it. This is what I need to figure out. Write you a list. Write you a list of things that you need to know to figure that thing out. Write you a list and conquer the list. Because 9 times out of 10, you a person who like lists anyway. I don't fucking know. I don't really go off lists. I'm just like, yo, 2 sheets to the wind, just figure it out, make it happen, throw it in a blender and just keep it moving. Like, for real. Write it down, write the goal down, figure out your steps to get to where you need to be, and stop focusing on the big picture. Because when you focus on the big picture too much, you forget about the small steps that you need to get there.
Mm-hmm. And you become overwhelmed with the big picture. You just like, and then once you become overwhelmed, it's just like, well, I can't do this. Let's move on to another picture. It's still gonna be the same size, and you're just gonna keep continuing that cycle.
They're gonna say it wasn't meant to be. I see so many people, and it makes me so mad, bro. I see so many people do that. Like, they say that they can do stuff. They say they want to do stuff, but then they say, I've never done that before, so I can't do it. Bro, what are you talking about? You know how many things that have been done that has never been done before? Do you know that's why we got airplanes now? Do you know that's why we got cars now? Do you know that's why we got shirts now? Because somebody did it. Somebody figured out a way to do it. Everything around you was a product of somebody's imagination, of just being real. There is nothing that doesn't grow out of this earth that you look at and say, yo, somebody figured out how to put that together. Like, literally, just think about it. Look around you, close your eyes, think of an object, and think about where the fuck it grew out of the ground at. Think about where a skyscraper grew out of the ground. Is there a skyscraper seed?
It is not. No,
I just want to know, like, yo, for real, like everything that man has put together has been a product of somebody's imagination. It was an idea first. It wasn't even a visual. There's a picture of the first camera, fam. Somewhere there's a picture of the first camera because somebody was like, yo, I did it so nice, I got to do it twice. It was an idea.
Right.
It was literally an idea. Now I can't even figure out. Like, I'm looking at electronics. Like, I saw an IBM commercial. Like, fuck IBM commercial. Like, computer electronics. They built a nano chip. Fucking nano chip that's supposed to be 12 times faster than the current nano chip, and it's smaller. I'm like, yo, how? Like, yo, somebody put that together. With their imagination, their mind, they just did it. They just like, yo, this is my idea. This is what I'm gonna put together. Shark Tank is a big, a big example of that, bro. Some of the best people who go into Shark Tank don't even got a product in front of them. Like, just being honest, like, yo, you are some of those people on there. They ain't never made the product. They just got the idea. They know who their target audience is. They know how to push it. Yeah. They know where to push it, and they know when to push it. And the sharks just get on it, and they own it. They like, yo, he got a plan. That's something I want to stand behind. Why? Because they know how to put it out there. They know how to make it look good. And just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean that you can't get out there and do it. So whatever idea it is that you got in your head, man, you don't have to keep pushing yourself back down. You bubbling up. You like a volcano, you bubbling up. You don't need to push yourself back down no more. You can overflow. and you can overflow abundantly. Don't let nobody tell you. Don't let you tell you that you can't do it. Because half of y'all, the external ain't even the biggest problem. It's the voice that you hear in your own head.
Mm. Mm. Whew. Alrighty. That was a lot.
My bad.
Nah, you good. You good. Uh, like Aaron said, like Max said, man. You gotta find a spot where you can get out of yourself and believe in yourself. Like there has to be time to where you understand that, all right, like you said, you don't know everything, but I can learn everything. Um, there's a place, a person, a thing, an object that I can learn from that can boost my understanding, so I'm not at the bottom. And usually, most of the time, you're not at the bottom. You have a leg up on whoever is beneath you. And not to say that there's a you know ladder to these things. Everybody knows what they know and are built for whatever their goal is, their dream for. uh all you got to do is get out of that. You got to get over yourself. Once you conquer yourself, any and everything is possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So this episode of the Dirty Trump podcast has been brought to you by Ascension Publishing, man. Get on ajmcmullen.com to find the Gem State Siege and Guardians of the Pacific Book 1 and Book 2 of the World's End series. Book 3 dropping early next year. Speaking of, man, I got presented with an opportunity to join up with another author who already got about 20 books out and 2 bestsellers on Amazon. So yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, but we were standing at the convention, and I ain't gonna name drop right yet because you know it's still fresh, and but I'm about to have my name on something with a few other authors, man. A little anthology book that's being put together right now, and I'm just gonna put in my little 2 cents and make it happen, man. But he I was just standing there at my table minding my business, and he came through, and this what got me. Um, both times he came through to try to holler at me, man, because I had already bought a book from him like the day before, but he came to try to holler at me the next day, and I and I was just like, I was already dealing with some customers, man. So he like saw that, and he heard me doing my pitch, and he just kept it moving. He came back and wasn't nobody there, and we chopped it up for a few minutes, and he told me about the project that he's doing, and man, I was just like, oh man, like I don't like, bro, I looked you up already. Like I know who you are. I done bought 3 of your books already. So like for real, like yo, you talking to me right now. I'm just like, I'm in a state of, oh bro, for real. Like I don't even know why you giving me the time of day right now. Like I'm just starting. You got like 20 books out, bro. I need to get to where you at, and you over here trying to get me to be involved with you. It's like, yo, I don't know what you want me to do right now, but all you got to do is say the word, man. I'm in there. He started talking about compensation. I was like, nah, don't even worry about that. Just tell me what to do, man. I don't even care about all that. Just tell me where to go. So yeah, I'm on that project, and I think the first project that's is going to be released in January, I believe. So man, fingers crossed on that everything goes smooth with that. So but I'm out of my element right now, and it's gonna be feeling a little funny for the foreseeable future for that one. So yeah, man. Y'all get on ajmcmullen.com to get the book Gem State Siege and Guardians of the Pacific. Once again, you can find the discount code for Guardians of the Pacific in the back of the Gem State Siege, provided you figure out the code. To get that, you had to read the book to do it. So that's all I got for that one.
Well, all righty.
Oh,
not too much on this end. I put some of my stuff on hold. I have been working on something. Y'all gotta wait on it.
Okay.
I'm
glad to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. Let's go.
This has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. We are signing out.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.